Shut up and sit down.
Hello everybody, welcome to another lovely episode of Super Grapple Bros. This is episode 23, and we are doing No Mercy predictions. It is the prediction show for the No Mercy pay-per-view. We're going to see, I'll have this when we do our predictions. We're going to see if I can continue my longest reigning predictions championship run as we break down the Raw pay-per-view with big matches including Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship and John Cena versus Roman Reigns, amongst a bunch of other matches, which I honestly I got to look at the full card just earlier today. I didn't realize how good this card actually kind of is.
It's
how
really
it's
good,
shaping up to be.
and I think the reason why is because we're in football season now, right? They're trying to boost things up for that.
Gotta go hard. Gotta fight that Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
What is up, Big Stupid, who is now in the chat? I'm
doing?
trying out the new. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trying out the new dark mode of Twitch that came out. Looked pretty sick. I like it. And then we also have some No Mercy trivia to talk about. We're going to be going into a little bit of WWE news. We're going to be talking about the Starcade announcement later. And then in the video game news, we have PUBG drama, legal drama with PUBG, stuff like that. We will have our weekly Overwatch news. New Overwatch map came out. We've also got. We're also going to be breaking down the Creation Suite from WWE 2K18 as well.
So good.
And then we're going to be touching on the what I guess is maybe Mario Gate or whatever.
Yeah,
Shirtless
whatever.
Mario.
Yeah.
Should he deserve nipples? It's a thing on the internet, so I guess we're going to talk about it.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to start off with our main event of the evening, which is kind of the opposite of what you normally do.
Yeah.
It's a hot opener and the main event at the same time. I'm going to take this lovely girl right here down, and we're going to do our predictions. The champ is going to have his belt while we do the predictions for No Mercy.
But John Cena doesn't have a belt right now.
I should smack you, but I'm not going to. I want to smack you, but I'm not going to. I keep telling myself this, that way I don't actually do it.
Oh, Jonathan
No,
Cena.
no, bad hand. Don't do it. All right, so I'm going to open this up in our handy-dandy Game of Thrones Loot Crate notebook. Hell yeah. Main event, Jason Jordan versus The Miz early. Not the main event, but definitely a good match.
Yeah,
definitely a good match. I don't know if that maybe that'll be the hot opener. I think he's trying to say main event is I think maybe he's trying to make a joke about the fact that we're going first with our main event, and that would be the main event, I guess. Anyway, we're gonna get right down into it, and the first match that we have coming up is the kickoff match between Elias. Hello, my name is Elias. I don't need the last name Samson. Versus Apollo Crews of the Titus brand fame. So
Titus Worldwide.
Yeah. So champion picks first, as per the rules. That way the champion doesn't be a dick and just pick the same thing that the challenger picks every time. Give the challenger a chance to defend himself. And if you guys are unaware, for next week when we break down, do our review and figure out when we who wins. Champion's advantage. If we end up tied, then the champion retains. That's why we have the champion go first in our picks. So, first match, Elias versus Apollo Crews. I really don't know who to pick in this.
I know,
to be honest. I'm leaning towards Apollo Crews because I think Crews should win. He got a win over Kurt Hawkins, got nice visibility, but at the same time, Elias was in a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. So I really don't know who's going to win this, but I feel like for a kickoff, maybe to get people feeling good, since there's no stakes behind it or anything, I think I'm going to go with Apollo Crews. I think he's going to win that one.
I would like Apollo Crews to win, but I'm going to predict Elias Sampson.
Elias.
Because they seem to be like, hey, Elias, right to the front of it. You see the camera just right there. That's where you need to be, Elias.
Yep, I feel like it's a toss-up. It very well could be Elias. I could see them going either way, because the win against Hawkins could be maybe them setting up Crews for another push.
Then again, that was seemed mostly because they were trying to push the fact that he has a 154 match.
I mean, you're probably right, but I already made the prediction, so I'm not going to change it. Then we've got Neville versus Enzo for the Cruiserweight Championship, and I think this is easy. Enzo is not on the Neville level. Nowhere near. Enzo is a good talker. It's cool that he's in the Cruiserweight division, but I don't think he's on the Neville level. I think if he was going to win the Cruiserweight Championship, I don't think it would be Neville he would beat to win it. Not that I don't think Enzo can't be a Cruiserweight Champion. Just to clarify anything, the reasoning behind my decision, I just feel like somebody would beat Neville, and then Enzo would beat the person who beat Neville.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree. I think it's going to be Neville winning. This is one match that I'm not entirely sure about, just because of the fact that the feud has just been so different.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, this last week on Raw, Enzo got destroyed by Braun Strowman, and then Neville came out and attacked him, and then Neville had a match with Grand Metalik that he won. So
yeah,
Neville's got the momentum going in. I think he's going to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, no one's on the Neville level.
Then we have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Balor is not allowed to use the Demon in this matchup. It's mano a mano. I don't know who to pick here, because I feel like without the Demon, Wyatt should win. But we all know how Bray Wyatt's been booked this last year, with exception to his brief title run.
Yeah.
Or in his history. So it's it really depends. At least if Balor... I think I'm going to go with Wyatt, because if Balor loses, he's got an excuse. He wasn't allowed to use the Demon. If Wyatt loses, he picked this stipulation, chose to face the weaker version of Balor, and still lost. That is something you do not recover from. Yeah. And they're trying to get Wyatt back up, so I think I'm going to go with Wyatt. He's going to be my pick.
Well, then in that case, I'm going to go with Balor, because I could see this going either way. And I think what they're doing is, especially with the way that they've been doing promos, this last week on Raw, Balor said to Wyatt, when I was a kid, didn't really have that many friends. I always read all these mythology books and blah, blah, blah. And then when that kid became a man, he learned to take all of his anger and frustration and all that and build it into this demon. So who's really more dangerous, the demon or the man that created it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be a thing of Balor's going to prove that he doesn't need the demon in order to win. He's going to win, and then that'll kind of put a nail in the coffin for that feud, and then they can move on to different things, and maybe Balor could start going after Reigns or Strowman or something like that and get into a different storyline.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like if you do, Wyatt needs it, and I think if you do Wyatt wrong here, it's something that he is not going to recover from.
Yeah, but then again, we've also said that about a lot of things, and they still keep him around and throwing him in shit.
Keep him around, but we don't expect him to win at all. We don't get excited about him anymore.
True. Unfortunately, I still like him. I still like his in-ring work. But...
Mm-hmm. Then we have The Miz versus Jason Jordan. Based on the push, I think Jordan's going to win. I think that Miz is going to get upset. And I think this is going to be a long rivalry that's going to take us into Survivor Series, perhaps beyond, maybe even to the Royal Rumble. And these two are probably going to exchange the title at pay-per-views probably a couple times.
I hope that's not the case, because Miz is already a 7-time Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I'm going to say is, I could easily see, I know a lot of people aren't that excited for it. I would be interested in seeing it. I could easily see them doing something where Jason Jordan beats The Miz. Miz comes out, demands a rematch, blames Kurt Angle for his loss, loses the rematch to Jason Jordan, goes off on Kurt Angle, and Angle's like, I don't need my son to do my fighting for me. If you're going to keep acting like this, I'm going to teach you a lesson myself, and it's going to lead to a match between Miz and Angle.
Very well could be.
Which
could happen at Survivor Series.
A lot of people might not want to see that, but I would not mind seeing Kurt Angle versus The Miz.
I've been saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Survivor Series, instead of doing a Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, since it's going to be a double brand thing, if we don't have a Team Angle versus Team Miz and a Team Shane versus Team Owens type thing going on. And maybe we don't have a Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series match.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but maybe it won't have all the big names.
Yeah, true.
So, and then we've got Rollins and Ambrose versus Sheamus and Cesaro for the tag titles. I'm going with Rollins and Ambrose because I think until these two reach a moment where the other one can turn on the other in order to do something like go after the Universal Championship or something, or the Authority comes back in or something like that. I feel like unless there's an external force that gives one of them a reason to turn on each other, they're not going to turn on each other just yet, especially not when they're facing like a team like Sheamus and Cesaro, like heels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're really going to have them turn on each other. I think the fact that they're like this is the most popular that those two have been like in the last year, basically. I don't know if they're really going to turn either of them face on the other. I think they're going to win.
On the other, I mean.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to
Oh,
turn
I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but I feel like until like maybe something like the Royal Rumble comes around where like maybe one of them tosses out the other and then they implode or something, or say like the Authority shows back up or Stephanie tries to, like we see scenes of maybe Stephanie trying to talk to one of them to get in their ears, or like there's a chance at the Universal Championship or something. I feel like unless something physically like actually comes in between them, neither one's going to turn on the other.
Yeah, I don't think even at that point, I think it's going to be a matter of, well, we beat the hell out of each other before, and we both want this, so let's beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, we'll see. But we both picked them, so there we go. Then we've got Alexa versus Nia versus Sasha versus Emma versus Bayley for the women's title. A big 5-woman match, and I'm going to pick Emma because no, I'm not picking Emma. Emma doesn't stand a chance.
Unfortunately.
Would be amazing if she did win as a swerve.
I would love
that. Would be awesome. I would love it. But I think... I don't know.
This is tough.
This is tough because Nia could very well win in this one.
I could see basically anyone but Emma winning this.
Yeah. I could see Alexa retaining. I could see Nia winning. I could see... it's like... It's rough. Who am I going to pick? I feel like maybe now is the best time to maybe put the title on Nia if you wanted to. Unless you want to build her up more. I'm hoping Nia wins, but part of the reason I don't know if she'll win is because this is also the kind of match where you could have 4 people gang up on her, and that's how they've gotten her out of matches. That's how she lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so she got eliminated at WrestleMania. So, do we know if this is elimination or not?
It's not elimination.
I do not know who to pick. I see all these names, and I feel like Alexa might escape.
It's possible.
And Echo, you keep your mouth shut. I can very well see anybody retaining, winning, but I don't know. Like, it's hard because I don't feel like it's time for Bayley or Sasha to win because it's not close enough to WrestleMania for them to really go off on each other. I think if they want to execute that plan, it could be Nia's time. Alexa could escape, and we could just get Nia straight up Nia versus Alexa.
You seem like if you had to choose people, you're leaning towards maybe either Alexa getting out of there or maybe Sasha winning.
Or you mean Nia?
Or Nia.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaning more towards Alexa or Nia.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I think I'm going to go with Alexa. I think the heel champion is going to somehow sneak and eke out a victory on this one with a crazy pinfall because her chances are so slim.
Okay. Well, here's something that I'm going to propose because I think with you picking Alexa, I'm going to pick Nia.
You shut up, Echo. I saw your ring light up. You shut your mouth, girl. That's
Sexist. But yeah, I think Nia might pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I want to propose is since you've picked Alexa and you've picked Nia, and we both think that either Sasha or Bayley could possibly win too, do you want to do something where we each have 2 picks in this match?
I think one is fine because if we're wrong, then we're both wrong.
True.
Like it'd be so.
Because I was gonna say my 2 choices in that situation would be Nia or Bayley. I'm still not sure
and
which
you're
one.
Going for Nia.
I'm gonna go with
Bayley
Nia,
did get a surprisingly big reaction despite how awful her character was treated over the summer when she came back.
But it's also a matter of this would easily fit into the idea of doing Sasha versus Bayley because of the fact that Bayley lost her opportunity to challenge for the title. Sasha got that fought, lost, but then has been fighting her way to get back to the title picture, and then Bayley just
keeps
comes
showing
back.
up and winning it like it's nothing.
But Bayley didn't even do anything to get. She just showed up and just appeared on TV, didn't have a match or anything, and then was thrown into the match. So
that's true. You kind of make me feel like I might want to change my pick to Bayley, but
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Because, like, even though we're like, haha, Emma won't win, having her win would be a nice little shock to the system. So, yeah, I've got Alexa somehow making it out. You've got Nia. Cam says hello, so hello to Cameron.
Hey, Cam.
And he also thinks that what's going to happen is Bliss is going to steal the win off of Nia decimating somebody with her finisher. It's
possible.
So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going to bank on. And Big Stupid thinks, like, who do you think... He thinks that Asuka's going to come in and take the championship, so he's like, who do you think is the bigger deal to lose to Asuka? But Asuka's hurt. She's going to be gone for a while.
No.
No, she's not?
She's coming back the end of this month. To Raw.
I don't think Asuka's going to challenge for the championship right away, though.
That's my thinking is I don't think Asuka's going to walk in the door and they're going to be like, oh, hi, Asuka. Here's title match. I think they're going to be like, hi, Asuka. Here's opponents. Destroy them. And then she earns a title
Unless
match.
they want to be like, Emma wins, and Emma's like, yeah, I did it. I'm the champion. You guys didn't think I could do it, but I could. And then Asuka's music hits, and then she's like, oh, crap.
No, but I could easily see something like Nia or... what's her name, Alexa or something like that winning, then feuding with, like, Sasha, and then losing the title to Sasha, and then immediately going into a feud with Asuka. Because we've never seen those two go at it before.
It would also be interesting
Nia
to see...
versus Asuka. We've seen Alexa versus Sasha. We've seen Bayley versus Sasha. We have not seen versus
I think a Alexa, shut up. I think a Bliss versus Asuka rivalry would also be really cool because you've got the genuine, terrifying ass kicker Asuka versus the very sly, creative, and arrogant Alexa.
True.
Shut up. Yeah, that's right. You listen to that command.
No, but like I said, I could easily see it being any one of them. But I think if they're going to have Asuka feud with anyone for the title, it might be Bayley because of the fact, like I said, she's had matches with basically everyone in that match except for Sasha.
Mm-hmm. But, well, wait, Asuka battled Alexa way back in the day in NXT?
In NXT, yeah. Not like a big feud, but she had a match with her, I believe.
Yeah, but that was also before Bliss became who she is.
True.
That was when she was still being developed. So, anyway, let's move on from that. We've got Cena versus Roman Reigns, and it really depends on what they want to do with this. If they want to keep this has been so good that I don't think they should stop it. And on that, in that regard, if they want to keep going, I feel like you have Cena win, but if you want it to be a one and done, I feel like Reigns wins. Because Reigns has got to be the one who wins this feud. Because he's the one who's going to be around much longer. So the question is, do you have Reigns win and then maybe Cena comes back? Or Cena wins and then Reigns is pissed off and definitely you get a rematch?
Do you want me to make my prediction first?
I mean, technically that's against our rules.
Well, I'm saying if you're not sure who you want, and you're going to do an idea of, well, I'll pick the opposite of whoever you pick, then I can say first, because I already know who I'm picking for this match.
I'm leaning towards Reigns. Who are you leaning towards?
I'm going to pick Reigns.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Reigns. Do I want to do Cena? Do I want to do John Cena? No, I'm going to stick with Reigns, because I'm leaning towards Reigns. Cena could very well win, and it'll extend it. But there is also the never give up Cena-ness that could lead to a rivalry.
That's what I'm saying. Because I feel like the way it is, if Reigns loses, as he's pointed out in promos, I don't need to face you. People always come out here calling you out, and here you are coming to Raw to call me out. I don't need to face you, unlike other people. And I think it's a matter of, if Reigns loses, oh well, he put on a good match. He lost. Cena loses. He came out, specifically find him, challenge him, lost to him. Give me another match. Then Cena wins that second match. And then
the rubber match, Roman wins the rubber match. It's obvious that, like, if they have a rematch, it's obvious what's going to happen. I think this is the hard one to determine. Because after this, if they decide to do like the best of 3 traditional thing, you know what's going to happen. If Cena wins this one, Reigns is winning the next 2. If Reigns wins this one, it's going to be Cena winning the next one, and then Reigns winning the third one.
Yeah.
So, then we've got the main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. And don't hate me, because I love Braun, and I would love to see him win the championship. But I think I'm going to go with Brock.
Okay, I'm going with Braun.
Because I will be happy to be wrong.
Okay.
But I feel like Braun is the one that Lesnar should lose to. But I feel like they are so determined to have Lesnar hold on to the championship almost for a full year and then lose it to Reigns that I don't think they're going to have Strowman beat him. And I think it's going to be something to where maybe Lesnar barely escapes after Strowman decimates the crap out of him, or Strowman gets counted out or disqualified or something, and then maybe Strowman goes ape crap afterwards or something. But it's going to be somewhat like the Samoa Joe match, but to where Lesnar's going to have to do a little bit more damage to put Strowman down.
I can see this going a couple ways. One way, which is like the most far-fetched way, and I'm only saying that this is possible.
That Strowman just somehow dominates Lesnar out of nowhere and wins quickly?
No. Something that involves storyline afterwards, which is something that I've been noticing, little things that I've been picking up on through all these promos, which is, unlike with a lot of other promos,
You think Heyman's going to turn on Lesnar?
I don't think Heyman's going to necessarily turn on him, but I think he might manage Strowman, because with all the promos, like every promo that Heyman does, he'll give his respects to people like Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns, stuff like that. But he'll still say that, but this is the beast. He's going to beat you. You may damage him, but he's going to beat you. This is the first time he's been doing promos where he's like, if Brock Lesnar can beat you, and talking up Strowman constantly and saying all these things about how this is the first time Lesnar has faced someone that is bigger than him, that is stronger than him. But is he badder than the baddest dude on the planet? He may be, and keeps referencing that Strowman might win. So I'm thinking that he might become Strowman's manager. And I'm also thinking that it might be Strowman wins and injures Lesnar to give Lesnar some time off with the way his contract is of limited dates and all that. Mm-hmm. And then come back, maybe challenge for the title then and all that. But
you could do some. I mean, if you wanted to run with that, you could do something to where maybe Strowman wins and Heyman gets hurt, or Lesnar gets injured, and Heyman aligns with Strowman, and maybe it's seen as like a betrayal. And then maybe you have it to where Strowman starts becoming a hole or something, and starts like wrecking shop with the Universal Championship. Nobody can touch him. And then maybe at the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar's music hits late. He wins the Rumble, and then you've got Brock versus Braun, the rematch for WrestleMania at the championship. Yeah. That's a huge money match that I would love to see. That's definitely a thing I can see, but I feel like
the match they're gonna go for at Mania though is probably going to be Braun versus Reigns, because that feud has been going on for a while. It's red hot. People still love it to this day, and I feel like it will end up being a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I could very well see them giving it to Braun and then just having Braun run with the Universal Championship through people until you get Braun and Reigns at WrestleMania.
By the way, sorry, one quick side note I've been wanting to mention but keep forgetting. Where's Samoa Joe?
It's true.
Where's Samoa Joe?
I haven't seen him since SummerSlam. Maybe he's hurt.
Did he hide behind the corner or something? Like, just where did he go?
Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe he got hurt or something.
Maybe, but I just have been realizing this last couple weeks of like, wait, where did Samoa Joe go? He was here. He was in Universal. Alright, so he is injured. But I was like, he was in Universal title matches and all that, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, again, this is another toss-up. Part of me feels like I'm making the wrong decision. But I mean, like, I also want us to have, like, a fair amount of differences. And we actually do have a lot of different predictions here. So, like...
I mean, there is a very good chance that Lesnar could win. And they go on to things like Reigns versus Lesnar. Or maybe Joe comes back versus Lesnar. Or Finn Balor versus Lesnar. Because I know there are a good amount of people who want to see that.
Like, Strowman has definitely been, like... I'm not tagging him, but like he is in the mold of a Brock Lesnar, and he's going to be the one who can fill that void when Lesnar goes.
Yeah.
Which will might likely be when his contract's up after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So like
I don't know if Lesnar will leave.
I could see them pulling the trigger on Strowman tomorrow night and just running with it because he's gotten over so quick, so much. But at the same time, Lesnar's a big money man. And if he wants to stay in WWE while also doing UFC fights, and they have that what was it? Was it John Jones or somebody who was like
John Bone Jones?
And if they want to, and if this John Jones thing actually ends up happening and gestating, and it comes to happen like after WrestleMania or whatever, I think they'll want to keep that WWE Championship on Lesnar, potentially through the John Jones fights. That way maybe they can say that Lesnar is the first ever WWE and UFC champion, the only man to hold it at the same time.
Maybe.
So,
although
it's
I don't know
very
if
much
it's the same John Jones, because I know there's two of them in UFC.
Mm-hmm.
One of them did recently get suspended and have his he's not heavyweight champion, I think he's light heavyweight or whatever, had his title stripped from him because he had his drug test right before the fight came up positive.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because like if he ends up in a championship match or whatever, or if he's gonna battle in the UFC, I could see them wanting him to hold the championship while he's doing it, unless they want to take it off of him because God forbid Lesnar gets manhandled, then it makes the WWE look bad because the WWE champion got manhandled by somebody in UFC.
Yeah, I don't think
John Jones is going to be suspended for a long time, so that match ain't happening. All right, well
at the same time, Brock Lesnar is still technically suspended, but it comes up next month or the month after.
Yeah, and Lesnar has expressed interest in wanting to fight again in the UFC, so we'll see.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Lesnar will probably sign another deal with WWE because I mean, he's making a lot of money off of them, and as we saw already, he was like, "Hey, I want to go fight a match in UFC." Well, we'll talk with UFC. Hey guys, can you promote SummerSlam if we let you use Lesnar? Yeah, sure. Okay, Lesnar, go ahead. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna go anywhere because of the fact that he just does limited dates, doesn't have as much of a risk of getting seriously hurt, and can still go do the other thing he likes to do.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be a hell of a match, regardless. Lesnar Strowman.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good one. All right, so that's it for the predictions. Wrapping it up, I've got a feeling that I think my time might be up and that your time might be now.
I'm hoping so.
But I can see you, regardless of the fact that my
time is now.
That's where I was going. Why didn't you let me finish?
Because you can't see me. My time is now.
Oh God, that's where I was going, and you cut me off. Stop it! I'm gonna hit you with this book. Knowledge. I think you might finally win this, and my championship might be up. So I'm gonna hold on to this for the rest of the night. I'm gonna sleep with it.
Apparently, my tweet still has not gone live about this going on.
Are you connected to the Wi-Fi at the house?
I am.
That's weird.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So to recap, for No Mercy on the kickoff, you have Elias. I have Apollo Crews in that match. We both have Neville defeating Enzo. I have Bray Wyatt defeating Finn Balor. You have Finn Balor. We both have Jason Jordan winning the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz. We both have Rollins and Ambrose retaining against Sheamus and Cesaro. You have Alexa, or you have Nia. I have Alexa in the 5-woman women's championship match. We could both end up being wrong if Sasha, Emma, or Bayley win.
Yeah, or Asuka randomly gets out of the match and wins, or frickin' Dana Brooke gets out of God.
Yeah. And then we both have Roman Reigns defeating John Cena. And then I have Brock Lesnar retaining, and you have Braun Strowman winning to become the new Universal Champion.
And hopefully that'll make me the new prediction champion.
Might be. We'll see. We will see. So that's it for predictions. Now let's get into wrestling. You want to do the No Mercy trivia then?
Yeah, since we're done predicting No Mercy, let's get into the No Mercy of old, because we've got wrestling trivia this week, and it is going to be based on the No Mercy.
I don't know how good this is going to go for me, because I don't think my No Mercy knowledge is that great.
I think some you might get, some you might not get.
And once again, if you guys are watching live on Twitch, be sure to join in on the trivia and submit your answers into the chat. And if you're listening or watching this back on demand, make sure to catch us live so that way you can join in on the trivia.
Yes, I don't think you're going to get this first one, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Or let us know how you did afterwards in a comment.
So, the first thing I'm going to ask you What year did the first No Mercy pay-per-view take place?
2001?
Nope.
Damn. Do I get any more guesses?
I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Was I close?
You were close.
Because I know it was the early aughts. It wasn't in the late 90s, right? It wasn't late 90s, the Attitude Era. 2002?
Nope.
2000.
No.
1999?
Not 1997. You were right in the last one. 1999.
Oh, damn it. I was debating between 2001 and 99.
And there was not only one that year, there were 2 No Mercy pay-per-views in 1999. The first one was May 16th. And where did that take place?
May 16th, the first No Mercy?
Yep.
How the hell am I supposed to know that one?
I'll give you a little hint.
Give me a hint.
It is not in the United States.
It
is the only No Mercy pay-per-view.
It happened in England, because that's the only other place that pay-per-views happened. So it had to be either London or Manchester, right? London?
Nope.
Manchester. Wasn't there also one that happened in Essex, England? I'll say Manchester.
It is Manchester.
Okay.
And let's see here. What was the main event of that pay-per-view?
1999. What month did that happen? And you said May?
Yes.
May of 99. I'm trying to think. 99 was WrestleMania 15. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker for the WWF Championship at the time.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, my final answer.
So close. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin defending the championship against The Undertaker and Triple H.
Triple H?
Yep.
In a triple threat match? Damn.
Well, technically in a anything goes match.
Oh, we got a
championship.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. It looks like Cthulhu, so I'm just gonna call you Cthulhu. How's it going, man?
What's up? All right. Let's see. So the first pay-per-view, first No Mercy that took place in the United States.
First No Mercy in the U.S.,
which is that same year. I'll give you this. What state was it in?
North Carolina?
Nope.
Illinois?
Nope.
Massachusetts?
Nope. It was Ohio.
Ohio, alright.
Yes, it took place inside Cleveland, Ohio. And now... Well, first I'll ask you, what was the main event for that show?
When did that take place again?
That took place October that year.
October of 1999. I'm trying to place myself and figure out what rivalries were going on in October of 99. I believe Austin was out of commission at that point. He was hurt. I think Undertaker was also gone at that point. I'm gonna say Triple H versus The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Is that your final answer?
Part of me feels like I should say Kurt Angle, but yes, that is my final answer.
You're half right. It was Triple H.
Who did he face?
It was Triple H defending his championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I could have sworn, wasn't Austin hurt at that point?
Nope, it was an anything goes match for the WWF Championship, and the match was 21 minutes and 55 seconds.
Damn it! I thought Stone Cold was hurt. If Stone Cold wasn't hurt, I would have said Stone Cold versus Triple H. Damn it!
Now,
Ishii Drenzy got that right. Oh, I ship Drenzy. I said Ishii because it's like a Japanese. Ishii is one in Japanese, so that's the first thing I read. I ship Drenzy. Okay, he said Stone Cold vs. Triple H.
Well, he was correct.
Yes, he was.
Right, now, here's one that I'm thinking you might get. There was an Intercontinental Championship match that night.
In October,
and it was a first ever for that championship that night. What match was it?
It was either China winning to become the first female Intercontinental Champion, or Kurt Angle winning to become the first ever Eurocontinental champion. Because I know those both happened in 99.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was around the Royal Rumble of 2000, or around, like, I think it was the winter that Kurt Angle became the Intercontinental Champion. So I'm going to go with China defeating Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I'll give it to you because the answer
Was
I was
it a
looking
triple
for
threat match
was...
with like Ken Shamrock or Kurt Angle or Eddie Guerrero?
No, I'm going to give it to you in that I was looking for you to say that it was the match where China became the first ever Intercontinental Champion.
Wrong.
But it was China versus Jeff Jarrett in a Good Housekeeping match.
Oh, that stupid Good Housekeeping match. Good God.
Hey, but what else happened the following night after that match?
The following night after that match? Did Chris Jericho come out and beat China for the Intercontinental Championship?
Nope.
Or did Jarrett come out and hit her with a guitar?
It involves Jarrett, but no. The night after was when Jeff Jarrett made his debut on WCW Monday Night Nitro. He lost the Intercontinental Championship to China.
What a way to embarrass
and then
him.
the following night came out on Nitro.
Alright, you're going to leave Double J? Then you're going to lose the Intercontinental Championship in a Good Housekeeping match. And one of the worst stipulations ever.
And now we'll go a little more recent. The last round of questions. No Mercy last year.
Mm-hmm.
What brand hosted the pay-per-view?
SmackDown.
That is correct.
That one's easy.
Alright, now, should I be really mean?
Do whatever.
What was the first match of the show?
Of No Mercy last year?
Yep.
God. SmackDown show. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. No, Dean Ambrose was a champion there. He faced AJ Styles and lost, and that was the main event. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
Nope. The first match was an 8-man tag team match. The Hype Bros and American Alpha.
Why would you do that to me? I thought it was actually significant.
Okay. So then the second match, which is actually significant, what was that?
Then I'll say it was the Intercontinental Championship match.
Nope.
Tag team
second
title
match? Nope.
Women's title match?
Nope. The second match of No Mercy last year was the triple threat match for the WWE Championship in which AJ Styles retained against Dean Ambrose and John Cena.
That wasn't the main event?
That was not the main event.
Oh, wow.
Guess what the main event was?
Could have been the Intercontinental title match. Couldn't have been the Women's Championship. Because it wasn't a big deal. Shane didn't wrestle that night, I don't think, right?
Ooh, the chat has gotten it right.
Chat got it right?
Yep.
What
I
was the main
Ship
event
got it
last
right.
year? I won't look up then. What was the main event of that night? Cena was already in the match. Cena, Ambrose, and... I'm trying to remember who was on the roster last year.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens was on Raw at that point, and so was Jericho. Sami Zayn was still on Raw at that point. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I'm leaving dead air. Jesus Christ. Why is it so hard?
No, it wasn't Jesus Christ.
I'm just going to say Ziggler versus Miz for the Intercontinental Championship because I'm drawing a blank.
Nope, it was Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, in which Bray Wyatt defeated Randy Orton in the main event of No Mercy last year. But you are also right in the respect that they did have Dolph Ziggler versus versus Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
I knew that match happened.
Who won that match that night?
The Miz. Ziggler didn't win until like October, November, and then he lost it right back. Right? Am I wrong?
You are wrong, but you are also right because he won it in October at No Mercy with the rules of if Ziggler lost, he had to retire.
No, I thought No Mercy happened in September last year.
Nope, it's always been an October pay-per-view except for the first one.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And you're right. Miz versus Ziggler should have been the main event.
Because I knew that he won in the one where his career was over, but I knew that was in October, November, and I thought No Mercy happened in September of this year. So
No Mercy is known as a October pay-per-view.
Okay.
And that brings us to the end of No Mercy trivia for right now.
All right. So I did not do nearly as well as I did in week one. I told you I wasn't going to do well. My No Mercy trivia isn't that great.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that was difficult, but I figured, you know what? We're going into No Mercy.
Stick with the theme.
That. Yeah.
Okay, so wrestling news then before we transition over to video games. Well, just one thing we're going to talk about today, and that is that Starrcade is coming back.
Starrcade.
Under the WWE brand. The big major super show, the WrestleMania of the NWA and WCW, has been relegated to basically a Saturday house show on the weekend of Thanksgiving that is, as of right now, not on the WWE Network.
Unfortunately.
Yeesh.
I saw Starrcade was coming back, and I was like, yes!
Yeah, I was like, oh,
yes!
Cool, we'll have a huge major event, and, like, Starrcade's a huge name. And it's like, and I was like, but why is it happening in November near Survivor Series? Oh, that's why, because they're putting it on a Saturday, and there's no sign of it going to be on the network, and the match card is kind of eh. Kind of eh.
I feel like they might end up putting it on the network.
Like, good, but not great. I hope they put it on the network. If they put it on the network, it deserves to be on the network if it's going to have the Starrcade name.
I think they're trying to build up the weekend, because if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a takeover that weekend, too.
Yeah, and it's also Thanksgiving weekend, which means the Survivor Series on Sunday, which makes me think, like, is Survivor Series only going to be a Raw pay-per-view, which makes no goddamn sense because it's one of the Big Four, and the Big Four should be, all the Big Four should be, like,
would not,
joint brand.
You have to remember, the way they seem to have been doing it now is they usually do a Raw and a SmackDown pay-per-view in between, so at least one of each between the Big Four.
It's just weird that you're going to do, like, a show. I mean, if it's not on the network, then I mean, I guess, but then you're like wasting the Starrcade brand. It's just, I guess, trying to get eyes on the network somehow for like a subpar show that really just insults the legacy of Starrcade, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Unless they get Cody Rhodes and they let him wear the ROH Championship out there for like a one-match deal.
I think they might be doing it in the original location of Starrcade.
Yeah, they are. They are. I also think it might be a way for WWE to try and maybe take attention off of the NFL, because it's also Thanksgiving is a big tentpole moment for the NFL, because you got the Thanksgiving games and then you've got the holiday weekend games on the Sunday. So it might be them trying to maybe take a little thunder away from the NFL.
Then they should have used Thursday Night Thunder.
This whole thing just screams marketing ploy to try and get attention on WWE that weekend and get attention away from maybe the NFL or something, and less using the Starrcade brand to genuinely bring Starrcade back and like have an event worthy of its name.
And the only other reason I could think of is, like I said, they normally do a takeover during that time. It may be a ticket sales thing of trying to boost money, because, I mean, think about it. You could do NXT TakeOver on Friday. You could do Starrcade on Saturday. And since it's, a thing that hasn't been done in a while, people would probably pay a good amount of money to see it, especially since it's where Starrcade originated. Then you've got Survivor Series the night after that, then Raw the night after that, then SmackDown the night after that. They might be trying to turn it into a bit of an event like they've been doing with WrestleMania and with... with SummerSlam these last few years. Yeah,
just to clarify, I'm just going to bring up the card on my phone just so I can read it off, because I remember looking at it and not being excited at all.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are petitioning to try and get WWE to have the main event of the show be the Hardy Boys versus Cody and Dustin
Which would
Rhodes.
make it like an interesting event.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it would be like WrestleMania level, but it would be not as much of really like what I feel is like an insult to the name.
Yeah. It would be like they'd be doing, justice to the event, because, I mean, Dusty Rhodes is one of the main reasons for having the show.
Yeah. So, basically, here's the match card. We got Breezango versus Aiden English and Mike Kanellis, with Maria Kanellis, which,
Okay.
Like, I like Breezango.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler, which should be okay, but it's like not something that like screams to me, hell yeah, Starrcade, big money match. It's like, okay, that's gonna be fun.
I'm fine with that as far as Bobby Roode is concerned.
Yeah. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which is good. They always put on good matches, but we're also driving that goddamn
Yeah.
I honestly I feel like the whole like Kevin Owens and the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn thing is just has been as such a dead horse that WWE is just beating on bones now. There's not even any flesh left to beat.
I think it can be fine and it can be saved so long as they do what I think the best idea for it would be, which would be Kevin Owens winning the WWE Championship and then Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That could easily... Because then you've got this whole thing that seems like it's predestined.
Yeah.
Because it's these two fighting in the main event of WrestleMania for the biggest title.
Yeah. I used to remember their rivalry last year where it was like, these two will never face each other again because they hate each other so much. And it's like they've now wrestled probably like
they did that as
30 times in the last year and a half since that match.
Well, they did that as this may be the last time they ever wrestle again because they may be on separate brands. And then they were both drafted to the same brand.
No, that happened like back in the spring before they even announced the
last
expansion draft.
The last big pay-per-view match they had was at Battleground. And they were stating that the reason they were having the match is because of the fact that they might be drafted to different brands during the draft.
I don't know, man.
I 100%
anyway,
remember that.
Then
I remember them getting drafted to the same brand and being pissed.
Okay, moving on. Then we've got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Tornado Tag match of the New Day versus the Usos. So, I mean, like, it's Tornado Tags. That'll be interesting. That'll be good. But again, like, the New Day's Usos is bad, but it's like it's starting to get a little long in the tooth, I feel, the rivalry.
Well, there's one thing I'm looking forward to with that rivalry.
What's that?
I'm hoping we have a tag team title Hell in a Cell match. I'm hoping for that.
And then we got the U.S. title match, AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin versus Rusev, which should be good.
That'll be decent.
I mean, I like all three people in the match. Mm-hmm. Then we got 2 steel cage matches, which is weird for the main events. I don't know. I don't recall. Was Starrcade big on steel cages? I think Starrcade had the because it wasn't Starrcade, it was War Games that had the 2 rings with the like Hell in a Cell type structure surrounding it. But like I don't think that was ever at a Starrcade. I don't know if like the first Starrcades had big cage matches.
They may have because I know
it might be. Maybe that's a way to like honor them. But we got Natalya versus Charlotte for the women's championship.
In a steel cage?
Yeah, in a steel cage.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And then Jinder versus Shinsuke in a steel cage. So.
Okay.
I think maybe if you have Jinder lose and Shinsuke win, that puts some attention on the thing. That'll put some butts in the seats.
Yeah. One thing I do want to address is someone in the chat, I believe it was...
And we said the Hardy Boys are in the...
Someone was on the card about the rumored match of Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
I think if they're going to do anything like that, it might be 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
That's what I'm holding out for, especially since Shayna Baszler, one of the 4 horsewomen, has a history in wrestling and made it to the finals of the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, and you got Ronda Rousey, and you got Roddy Strong's wife. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen would be a better thing.
Yeah. I mean, if we only get Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah,
I'm still going to be happy.
No, not at all. But I think if you do the 4 horsewomen, you've got Dana Baszler in there. I hope I said her name right.
Shayna
Baszler.
Shayna
Baszler. And based on how she performed in the Mae Young Classic, just from word of mouth for me, she'd be able to be the anchor for that team, and she'd be able to protect Ronda and any flaws she might currently have.
Yeah, you could
in her wrestling ability.
Her in that faction, she'd be like the Arn Anderson, the enforcer of the group,
or like the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. If we're thinking, I'm thinking back to WrestleMania 25 when you had like Chris Jericho versus the Legends.
Yeah, like.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the one who made that match entertaining and basically carried the weight and the anchor for Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm thinking. Like she can be that person who actually does all the really cool wrestling stuff. So that way like there's not as much pressure on the other women to do a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll help cover up any blemishes or flaws that Ronda might have right now, given like depending on how much training she's had and how green she is. So,
regardless of what they do, I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. I did not hear about that, Big Stupid. We will talk. I guess we'll bring it up. But when we get into the video games. And then I Ship Drenzy. War Games is a paper that should bring back. I would love to see War Games come back. It is probably a logistical nightmare as far as getting the 2 rings in there and the cage around there. But I mean, WWE can pull it off. And I honestly, that's a match type that I feel like would be great to see if, like, maybe one time, every once in a blue moon.
I'd prefer Kennel from Hell, but to each their own.
Get the hell out. Get out.
No.
Get out.
No.
No.
The concept
you do not
of that
suggest
match was
Kennel
good.
from Hell. You never suggest Kennel from Hell. That should be a rule.
Agree to disagree, sir.
I should hit you. Okay, so that's going to do it for the wrestling portion of the podcast. We're going to switch over to the video game news. And speaking of WWE 2K18, as Staggered JTD asked, he wanted to know if we are going to be getting it. I said I'm waiting on the reviews.
And
See if
I'm
I'm gonna
waiting
pick it up.
for money.
Yeah, I'm going to probably pre-order it.
Oh,
Just
I
put the
already
basic
pre-ordered
down payment on it, just that way I can get Kurt Angle if I decide to buy it. And then I'll move my pre-order to something else, like if I decide to not pick it up.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered it because I'm probably going to get the game. It's just a matter of when, and, you know, when I get it, I will play the hell out of it because I always do with these games, and I'm getting more excited the more I see of it.
But WWE 2K18 is in the news again this week because they unveiled their creation suite and detailed it, which I saw part of the video. You saw the full thing, so I'll let you break it down. But it looked impressive.
Yeah,
it looked a lot better than what it's been the last 2 years.
Yeah, they did a lot of editing with the create a superstar. They made it so that way you could have a bunch of different facial features. They talked about how they have a lot more in terms of diversity for like representing different races in the game. They showed that if
They're gonna
you
have
don't,
elves.
yeah, basically they're gonna have elves. They're gonna have dwarves, maybe some hobbits. You never know.
What about Nazgul? Can I be Nazgul?
I don't think that's available unless maybe.
Can we be whatever Tom
if you
Bombadil
get
is?
no, if you get the Seen Enough edition, you could be an Nazgul. That's what it is.
But I want to know about being Tom Bombadil.
That's DLC.
Okay. That's gonna go right over anybody's head who doesn't like Lord of the Rings.
Yep. But they also showed where, like, if you've got 2 different body types of a wrestler that you want to make, and you want something kind of in between, you can select the 2, and there will be a slider between them, and you can go between till you get exactly what you want for the body type, which is really cool. They've also made it that way with the logos, like in the last few games, when you made the logos bigger on a shirt, when it got to the edges, it would start to blur out. Now they've got it where you can wrap it around the entire piece of whatever you're trying to put it on.
So, like, say you want your entire singlet to look like a lion's face or something, like a roaring lion's face or whatever. You can wrap it so that way the mane basically like the back will be like the mane, and then like the actual face of the lion will take up your entire singlet, front of your singlet, which is cool.
It's really cool. They've also got more textures for your gear to look like they've got carbon fiber, things like that. They've also got it where you can make the logos and everything backlit and blacklight and things like that.
You can emboss them too, so that way it almost looks like you've branded yourself with Triple H's logo.
Exactly, yeah. They've done a lot of stuff like that. And then they've also added more for you could do with custom arenas, where they make it where you could have even smaller arenas.
I love that. That was probably my favorite part, is the fact that you can have like a random gymnasium, like school gymnasium as an arena, or you can have something like the Hammerstein Ballroom as arenas, instead of just, oh, what's the venue size? Small. Oh, it's just the same sized arena as WWE. It was like, it's cool that you can make your own little like smaller shows.
Yeah. Put on some FCW shows.
Well, and also be like, oh, this is NXT on the road, or this is like the smaller NXT takeovers or whatever before they got put into the arenas.
Yeah. I also like the idea because then you could do things like with the ballroom. That's the kind of scene that the UK Championship Tournament took place in.
Yep.
So I'd like to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have changed around the way you can have highlights from matches for your entrance videos and stuff. You actually now have it where you can set up where you have a free roaming camera, so you can get any angle you want, and you can put it on any kind of background, any kind of special design in front of it. They've done this whole change to the way that works as well. So it seems
and
like
you can put it in your entrance videos too.
Yeah.
which is really cool.
So they're making it so that way literally everything's customizable.
Don't move. There's a honey badger here. We have a honey badger guy in the chat, so hey, just making a joke. Honey badgers were a-holes in Far Cry, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate honey badgers and
they were definitely annoying in that game.
In Far Cry.
I'm sure you're good though.
We hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, the creation suite looks really cool, really interesting. Definitely like I saw like when I saw it earlier this week, I was like, creation suite. They never really change anything. Nothing's really revolutionary. They only just incrementally change things. And then I looked at the video and I'm like, oh wow. WWE 2K18, you have my attention. Or you have my curiosity. You don't have my attention just yet. Oh god. The honey badgers are legion. Find us and fear us. I don't want to find you because I fear you. Anyway.
Are you gonna run?
Yes.
And follow the buzzards?
Yes. They're not finished with us yet.
God.
Okay. So that'll do it for the 2K18 stuff. Nothing. I'm gonna look up this thing that Big Stupid gave us on. There's apparently a story on NHL 18, but in the meantime, I'll let you. You gotta prepare me for that kind of stuff. Overwatch news.
Yes. This
weekly Overwatch news.
They have. Ooh, Honey Badger has followed, by the way. Thank you, sir.
Honey Badger, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, man. Yes. FIFA 18 hype, anyone? By the way, before we get into the Overwatch news, FIFA 18 hype, yes. Yes, I cannot wait for FIFA 18. I'm also a fan of the Journey, and I can't wait for really cool, the Journey Hunter Returns.
Yeah, that looks really cool. It's very exciting. But back to Overwatch news.
You gotta get your Overwatch in.
Oh, I have to.
Gotta get it in.
They've got the new map now, Junkertown, added to the game, which is, for those of you who don't know, where Roadhog and Junkrat come from. So, I haven't gotten to take a look at it yet. I know they've got a lot of little hints in there about the backstory of those characters, and towards the character of the Queen of Junkertown. Hoping to get into it at some point later this week, but that is now live. So if you want to go and try it out, go ahead. It's free for you to try out now.
Yes, definitely very good. I'm excited, even though I haven't had a chance to play in a while.
Yeah, I've been all about that Destiny 2, which in regards to Destiny 2, a lot of people are getting upset with all of these maintenances that they're doing on the game. It seems every Monday now they're shutting the game down for hours at a time to play, and I know a lot of people mainly in like Europe and stuff are getting pissed because it's in prime game time for them.
I guess, but I mean it's only one day of the week. I mean maybe if that's your only day of the week I can understand, but for me, server maintenance has never bothered me. Because like even if it's a game where it's like I go on and I jump on and it like comes up and I'm like, well, that sucks, but I'm like, you know what? They're fixing the game, they're making the game better, and I'll just go play something else for today.
Yeah, I mean, for people like me, it bothers me a little bit, because when I normally get to play on Mondays, it's for a little bit during my lunch break at work through my Vita, and I can't change out the disc or anything on my PlayStation, so I can't really do anything about that. But I know people are also upset because the maintenance a lot of times goes on much longer than they say, like, the first time they did it, they said it would last 4 hours, and it ended up lasting like 7 hours that day. So people are getting upset that that's happening, but what do you want to do about it? They got to make the game work properly. So,
So apparently, this is interesting. In NHL 18, a guy was streaming a hut and playing people for coins. And apparently on a stream, and EA found that, and apparently they considered it coin selling or wagering, which technically it is, and banned him and got rid of his and erased his hut team.
Lovely.
I think EA was technically correct in that, but I think they should have given him a warning instead of just straight up erasing his hut team, because people work hard for those things, for hut teams, and I would be pissed. So like, do I think the guy was in the right for battling people for coins? Not really. But do I think EA should have gone that far? No. I think maybe they should have given him a warning, being like, just so you know, we consider this coin selling, and we ban people for this. So we will give you one warning to please cease doing this on your stream, and then if we catch you doing it again, we will erase your hut team. Let him know the stakes and everything.
Yeah. One quick thing
I mean, maybe it's in the licensing agreement or whatever that nobody reads at the beginning, but nobody reads those things. So send somebody a warning email.
True. One thing I will say quickly to Honey Badger. if you have not gotten to play Overwatch, I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people say this and that about it, but up until Destiny 2, it's basically the only game I've played since it came out last year. The game is really good. I like the way all the different characters work together. It's really fun. It's really competitive. They've got a lot of different modes to it. It's a really good game that they just keep adding more and more stuff to for free. Like, since the game came out, they've added, at least 3 new characters to the game, maybe 4. They've added a bunch of new maps, a bunch of new modes. They've added competitive mode. They've added a bunch of things to the game, and it's all for free. So, if you get the regular version of the game, which I think is like $20 used or whatever, it's well worth it.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I think we've got a couple more news stuff, right? We've got PUBG is in the news for something that I think is kind of dumb, which is, I'll let you take
Fortnite has made a mode for their game called Battle Royale, which basically simulates what PUBG is as a game as a whole, and they're trying to sue them over that, basically trying to claim the whole genre of it. More or less.
Which is not cool. You can't claim the entire can't claim an entire genre, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
And to be fair, like, he's attacking Fortnite for creating Battle Royale, but technically it was in H1Z1 and DayZ first, and yes, PlayerUnknown, who did Battlegrounds, the guy who made those mods, but he used other people's engines and properties to make those mods and make the Battle Royale. So technically, there could be a legal battle, I believe. I mean, my legalese is not 100% perfect, but I believe that there is reason to where, like, the makers of H1Z1 or DayZ could technically go after PlayerUnknown's, being like, well, you created this genre while using our software and our stuff and everything, and made mods off of that.
That's kind of a little different because of the fact that they made mods specifically for that game. Mm-hmm. So in order to play those mods, you still had to purchase their game. They're still making the money off of it.
But my point is, I'm not telling him, oh, you shouldn't have made those mods. What I'm saying is, well, you made those mods in our game, so how dare you go make that kind of game with you, like, on your own. Technically, you made the game, you made your mod, the Battle Royale genre, with our game. So technically, I think they would legally have some sort of claim or right to say that genre belongs to them.
I don't know if that's the case, because it's also a matter of, yeah, it happened in their games, but he's the one who created that. And he's known as the creator of it. He's credited by it, even by the companies that made the game. And then he got his own studio, and made his own brand new game. And it seems like this Battle Royale got made specifically to try and copy off of him and steal people away from PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
Well, I mean,
it's not like they did a mod or something like that. They went to do something to specifically steal his idea.
Well, I mean, technically, by that logic, Rockstar should then sue what was THQ, and I don't know who owns the property now, for creating Saints Row. Because they did the same thing with they tried to do open world like that.
Well, then with that same regard, Bethesda could sue them, but it's a whole thing of,
like, I don't think you can claim copyright for a genre.
No, I agree. But I'm also just saying, like, it's a matter of, like I said, the way they're going about it isn't so much of, well, it's in the same genre. It's more of stealing intellectual property, I believe.
I don't think so. Like, stealing intellectual property would be like taking PUBG's engine and taking, like, models from PUBG and, like, taking the maps but just slightly changing things. Like, there's a difference between claiming copyright for a genre and claiming copyright for intellectual property and stolen asset or like assets. When you show photos of, like, what that game is and what this game is, and if it looks like assets were taken straight from PUBG and put into that game, then yes, you have a legal claim. And if that's the case, and he's stolen not stolen, but taken specific assets and using exact assets and using, like, say, an exact map layout of the PUBG map, but just reskinned it, then yes, that's a good claim. But otherwise, you're trying to take claim for an idea for a genre, and I don't think that's going to stick in court. And I think it's ridiculous.
It might also just be a matter of them trying to, give them a bad name and try to make PUBG on the top still. Because people are starting to transfer over to that, and I think they're trying to keep that from happening.
Yeah, I don't think that PlayerUnknown has a leg to stand on in this, and I think he's just posturing to maybe get attention or market or try to get people looking back at PUBG.
That's what I'm
saying. Go back to PUBG instead of yeah. So we agree. Okay.
Just pointing out, hey, these people are copying us. Don't go with the copy. Stay with us.
Yeah. Honey Badger's asking when Anthem comes out. By BioWare, there is no date right now. Yeah. There is currently no date. They just put that teaser trailer out, so we have no idea.
We've got a game. It looks pretty.
Yeah. And then the final bit of news that we've got today is shirtless Mario Gate.
Yeah,
Mario Gate, apparently.
Apparently people aren't happy with shirtless Mario.
Yeah, a new Super Mario Odyssey screenshot came out where Mario was running along a beach or something, it looked like, and he had his shirt off, and he was in a bathing suit, it looked like.
Yeah.
Like a red bathing suit. And people, for some reason, freaked out because I guess people were making a big deal of it. I don't know if they were, I guess maybe half joking because he has nipples.
Yeah, I think there are people joking about the fact that he has nipples and being like, what else is he
he's a human man. All human men have nipples.
But they also were talking about, like, is he supposed to be human? But I think it's more so of a, hey, this is a game that's supposed to be meant for children, and you've got a shirtless person running around. I think it's just a bunch of people just being like, rabble, rabble, rabble. And and Nintendo being like, what do we do?
But I have nipples. But I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Basically.
Meet the Parents reference. Got it in there. Yeah, I think it's just stupid. I do agree though with, and this is kind of joking, I do agree with the people who say Mario's Italian. Why is he hairless under there? If anything, he should be a Brillo pad.
Yep.
There should be all kinds of body hair all over the place on Mario.
Yeah, I think it was a bigger issue that people had when they announced that he wasn't a plumber anymore.
He's not a plumber anymore?
No. At least not professionally.
Apparently. He was, but he canonly still was a plumber in the past, right?
Yeah, he was an Italian
plumber.
Why
not? Who cares?
But I guess with with them coming out with Super Mario Odyssey, because he does so many different things, he's no longer a plumber. And a lot of people are like, you don't just not become a plumber. You have a license. Like, well, plumber is plumber.
Well, I guess what they mean is he's no longer a plumber by profession anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's still a plumber by trade because he has the skills of a plumber, but he's no longer a plumber by profession.
But a lot of people were just like, the hell?
Whatever.
And I'm just kind of like, Destiny 2.
Yeah. So that's an interesting last story to go out on. That's a good thing to leave you all with. Shirtless Mario and and apparent controversy around it.
It's me. Nipples.
Why? Why'd you do that? All right. That's it for episode 23 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. We are done for today. Do not forget that you can catch us live on Twitch every single week, normally happening Friday nights or Saturday afternoon. It all depends on scheduling because we both work full-time jobs. That is at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. You can catch everything on demand on that Twitch channel as well as on YouTube at youtube.com/LMurphoReal. You can catch the podcast in audio form on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and various other locations where podcasts are found. Just look for Super Grapple Bros. That one's simple. And do not forget, if you have any questions, concerns, trivia, comments, feedback, topics of discussion, anything, feel free to email us at supergrapplebros@gmail.com. I can be found on Twitter at L_Murpho. I tweet out whenever we go live on Twitch, and I try to update people on when things are going live. I try to update when the YouTube and the audio versions go up, if you're not keeping an eye out for that. And then you can also find DMurph on Twitter at
DMurph_42.
And he tries to do the same thing as well.
Yes.
So I believe that's all the shout out housekeeping at the end, right? Not gonna leave anything else.
If you
awesome, I got it.
If you look at us on any of those places like Google Play or iTunes or anything, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes. because that helps us, especially on iTunes and with podcast places, because visibility on iTunes and all those places is very much determined on how many reviews and you get.
Helps with all the
reviews and
algorithms.
ratings.
One last thing I do want to say is, for all those people out there watching this, if you watch No Mercy and it turns out that I win the predictions, I want you to tweet at L_Murpho
Don't you do it. Don't
with
you do
hashtag
it.
and
No,
new.
don't do it. Well, then fine. If I win, then I want you all to tweet at DMurph_42 with the hashtag and still. And still.
We'll see.
And still. I love you, baby. Mwah. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. We are peacing out. Until we see you again. Get that belt back, nipple. What the? Why, big stupid? Why would you do that to us? All right, we're going out. We're leaving. That's us gone. All right, bye, guys. See ya.
Peace.
Shut up and sit down.